I think it's very important to select, to be more selective with the music you choose, because at the end of the day we all have the same access to the same music. It feels for me they want the spotlight. It's the spotlight and not the music which counts. So you want more to be a DJ because you care about music, or you want the attention of the people and the spotlight. It's completely out of my world. I mean, honestly, a DJ, the excuses were not really clear to me. You need to have a certain skill, I mean, to perform.
Right.
No? It's like you need to be sure about it. Yeah?
Right.
So shit can happen always. This is why I ask for 4 CDJs and I use 4 USB sticks, that if one
doesn't work,
then I have 3 others. I was at this party where actually luckily I had a guest list, but the ticket was $1,000.
That's crazy.
$1,000 for a techno party. I'm sorry, but something is completely wrong if it's like that. This is why I'm still saying so much no to music, because when I started, I needed to choose. For example, I was 13 years old, so I didn't have much money to buy records. So I listened to hundreds of records to choose maybe one. Of course, 1.5 meters apart from each other, and there were like 10 security guys, and every time someone would stand up, they would go there and then make them sit again. It was like, so it was this was very bizarre.
Hi guys, so happy to be back to this couch, and I want to introduce you to a very, very special guest. His music, I play most of my sets. I can listen to their music all the time, and he played last night for Ionia and just created a pure magic on the floor. I'm still recovering, but I've never seen such a great music ever, maybe, but I'm honestly telling that I had the best time listening his music, and I cannot thank enough to have him in the studio. And Sandrino from Frankey Sandrino.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, thank
really
you for
appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for the lovely words.
Absolutely. I'm being completely honest. The music that you played last night was out of this world. Like such a pure magic. I've never seen people vibing with DJ so well, and the DJ just like giving. It's like what I say. It's a magician that gets the attention of the crowd, and he just like moves it to the way he wants it. You know.
I think it was the parameters or the stars were just rightly aligned, because I think to create a good vibe on a dance floor, I think it's important that people are open and willing to experience something, which was the case yesterday, and it made my intentions much more clear and much more easy to go the way we went with Mauro yesterday. So it was really good. I mean, it's taking and giving. It's a combination in between you, the music, and the people. So it was just perfect yesterday to do something good.
I absolutely agree. It's honestly, Sandrino played with Musi Messi, who we did also a podcast yesterday, and I've never seen such an amazing back-to-back. Like I've never seen, and even Ernest, our videographer, is nodding his head saying how incredible the party was. But thank you so much for your music, and I love all your music. Like you and Frankie,
you
what
much.
You guys do, like you have your signature, like your style. And I want to know about, like, obviously create with Frankie.
Yeah.
In duo. How did you guys came together in this brand and this whole combination?
Actually, it's already 15 years, almost 15 years ago when we got together, like working together. It was not that we intended to work on music or to be a duo or something like that. It was just we came from the same environment. I used to hold a residency in a club called Bhutan Club in Germany, western part of Germany, and Frankie was a regular guest as a DJ there playing there. So we had the same surrounding, like friends, DJs, and other artists, and yeah, we know each other since more than 20 years. and at some point you filter a little bit out the people who are taking it serious or gives more meaning to the music than just going clubbing and enjoying music. So
Right.
and then we tried to go. I said, let's go into the studio to see what's happening, and without any pressure, without any plan or whatever. So it worked out well, and here we are 15 years later.
Wow, you just decided to spend some studio time together,
Yes,
and that's
yes,
how it all started.
exactly. It clicked
Wow.
straight away.
Wow.
So Frankie, I must say, he's amazing in studio. He's also a teached musician, so it's not just like random
Guy that
guy
plays,
that
yeah.
plays a little bit knobs or here. So there is like he has a profound musical knowledge, and this helped a lot because he can play piano and multiple instruments. And I, from my part, I came with a more clearer vision about sound or how music has to sound, and together we put it together. Like, yeah.
So you created this whole harmony between you and him that works
Absolutely,
out like a yin and
absolutely,
yang.
absolutely. It
Yeah.
works like perfectly. It's, I mean, it's always nice. I never doubted a moment that we can create new music. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to come up with new music. Sometimes it goes like within, I don't know, half an hour that we catch something interesting and then we take it from there. So
Wow.
it's always great to spend time with Frankie in the studio.
But how
Yes.
do you guys, being in duo for such a long time, for
Yeah.
15 years, it's like being in relationship, some sort of, like
Yeah.
you always have to work together, you have
Yeah.
to align together, grow
Yeah.
together. How do you keep that balance between you and him without falling off from growing apart or things
I
like
think
that?
I think the best example or the best thing in our relationship friendship is that Frankie is 100% the opposite of myself.
Oh, so that's that
So
works perfectly.
so at some point we meet in the middle, and it works just perfectly because everybody brings something to the table what the other has not, or
Yes, yes,
you
yes.
know.
It's just
So it's always interesting, you know, because it's I think it wouldn't be that interesting if it would be both
the
the
same.
same. Yeah, so
100%.
it's like that. So it's always a little, or let's call it tension, but a positive tension in between the both of us, and this, I think, it's the key of everything. So
That you have something that he doesn't and he has something that you don't. Okay.
exactly.
I agree. A lot of duos says that someone like they always have this like yin and yang energy
Yes.
that they balance
Yeah.
each other. And but I know that a lot of duos fell apart, because they just like I mean their life changed, their taste changed, the genres changed.
Yes.
How do you keep that? Like, have you ever had things when you're like, okay, no, we're going different direction, or you always found a way?
No, the thing is also, for example, like Frankie is playing by himself as well, and I'm playing by myself as well. So the needs I have, for example, to express myself behind the booth, I get this satisfaction. So when we play together, then it's about something else, because obviously, even though we flow together very well, we are two different persons at the end of the day. But having get my satisfaction when I play alone, I use the opportunity when I play with Frankie about the surprising moment to go left or right, or through music. I wouldn't imagine we go this direction, or he wouldn't imagine I would go this direction, and he's picking up
Right.
where I'm going, or I'm picking up where he's going, and this creates something very unique, and I really enjoy it and I like it, and it works perfect. So I have both parts satisfied, my DJ needs when I play alone, and then when I play with
With him.
Frankie. So
That's amazing. And honestly, when I listen to your sets, every song I'll be like, wow, like this song is amazing. Like every single song I'll be like, wow. Like where do you get the inspiration of the songs that you guys make and the songs that you like find? Where does this style comes from?
I think like, especially let's talk about the songs, for example, which I choose to play.
Yes.
I think it's like I told you before, I'm DJing now for about 30
Yes.
years. Yeah.
We're gonna talk
And-
about that too.
and it's constantly I try to find more specific and more profound tracks, and which I can reach the people's minds in a more profound way. So it's a constant listening and choosing and saying no to obvious superficial tracks. Obviously, I have a lot of superficial tracks also in my box, in order to, if everything goes wrong, to just
throw it and
exactly.
bring it back. Yeah.
But it's a bit more like saying no. You know, sometimes I spend like 5-6 hours looking and digging for music, and I just say yes to one single track, and I listen to 500 tracks, you know. So it's I think it's very important to select, to be more selective with the music you choose, because at the end of the day we all have the same access to the same music at the end of the day. Maybe
Right.
okay, some friends sending me music which I get a little bit earlier, but still I think it's important to say no to just random
things.
regular music. And yeah, this is obviously everybody has a different taste, so this has also something to do with the selection at the end of the day.
But does it comes with that you guys played for so long and you don't really dare to impress people, that you're like, okay, I love this. This is my style. This is defines my the genre that I play, and I'm gonna play it. You know, like I'm not there to make someone dance and just like impress someone. You're like, I feel like you always have this, like, you stay true to yourself.
I think
You know?
it's a very important point you said, that I would say I'm not there to prove something. Impress is maybe different. We always want to impress,
yes.
but I don't need to prove to anybody anything. So this is why I want to go as pure-hearted as possible musically into a club or into the venue, to play as pure as possible. And impressing, I think it's more like trying to catch the people with the songs I've chosen for the night or generally, and then to unite them heads, you know, and to put them all together to experience something nice, something beautiful. It's not working every time, I must say, you know. It's like I said before, like all stars need to be aligned well in order that everything makes sense. But yeah.
But I think what you're saying, that you don't have to prove anyone, but I feel like that comes with some sort of, like, when you're on certain level to say, I don't have to prove anymore. But when you're like at the beginning of your career, can you like allow yourself to do that?
100%, you should.
Really?
You 100% should, because then this makes you unique. This makes you like being different than the others, you know, to not do the same things all over again, to do something different, to be authentic. I think it's the most important, because if you're authentic, you can transmit something. You can transmit emotions, feelings. You can transmit the music, or you can make the people feel the music in a better way, rather than just playing some songs one lined up to each
Or
other.
be like everyone else, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. I try to be as authentic, or like to reflect as much as possible what I feel about music itself.
I absolutely agree, because, like, you know, I see a lot of DJs, right? Like, especially now that everyone wants to play, everyone wants to DJ. It's like what we were talking in the car. Like, the DJs are like a new rock star. Everyone wants to have that spot under the lights. But what are you doing different than others to pick you? You know, like, what's like, I feel like now it's not enough just to play, but you're like, you have to be different to understand why someone wants to pick you to play, you know, to have you headline the party.
I think this is another a point. I don't do things to be picked. It happened to be like that, which I'm very grateful for, and I'm happy. But I don't do them to be picked, or I do certain things for a certain intention, especially when it comes to DJing. You know, I do it for myself in the first place, to satisfy myself, And if it happens that
people like your
like
music,
my music, I'm even more happy. And if I get the chance to play it out, Yeah, perfect. But I think this is the problem nowadays with a lot of DJs, and I don't want to offend anybody, but it feels for me they want the spotlight. At,
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
you know, it's the spotlight and not the music which counts. So you want more to be a DJ because you care about music, DJing, the continuous groove and movement and creating emotion, or you want the attention of the people and the spotlight, you know. Two different things in my opinion. Both may be legit, you know, you will have entertainers, you go to comedy clubs, you go to, I don't know, whatever it is,
Shows,
to
yeah.
shows and everything, you need an entertainer, yes, but for me DJing has a more deeper meaning, and I think they are two different things, yeah, and not comparable with each other, you know, two different worlds, two different approach. And my decision is clear, I go for the music, and music first, and after I'm happy with the music, every other consideration comes into place.
But I think it's also that you started 30 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It was a different world back then.
100%.
Back then, what we were saying earlier, it's like it wasn't about the DJ, it was about the music, first of all.
Yeah.
Like people didn't know how the DJ look or what they are, who they are. It was about the music and what you said. Now everyone looks at the DJ. They're
Yeah.
not looking at themselves. We're not dancing. Everyone is just like staring at the DJ with their phones,
It's
shooting,
funny.
you know, and they're not there for that. So it's a completely different world, I think.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I don't want to be nostalgic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say everything was better back then. It was definitely different, and I'm happy I have been part of it. And yes, I must say, I must admit, I miss those times where people were going out to listen to music, to be surprised by music, not to go there to expect something. So to go for the unexpected, to see where did the night bring me? What did the night do with me? What kind of music did I listen to last night? You know, to be surprised. And I think this is not generally, but is missing a lot lately, I think. And also the fact that people are so focused onto the DJ. I can understand a little bit, but I can't understand as well, you know, because a night out, you should go a night out with your friends, to enjoy with your friends, to look left, to look right, to interact with each other, and to listen to the soundtrack. Because at the end of the day, yeah, we have the DJs, we are very extrovert and doing a show, which is super nice. But then on the other hand, you have very introvert DJs, which are doing an amazing job, but they are very concentrated on what they're doing and selecting music, creating music. So it's a little bit tricky. What exactly is it that people want to see? Because if you want, so the DJ, like I told you before, if you look at it very dry, is a person who chooses music, other people's music, and play together in a very subtle way. And you just turn knobs left and right, but they're very subtle. So it's nothing really to see there.
Absolutely.
Yeah? It's more listen to it, you know?
I love this point that you're saying the DJs are just like turning the knobs,
Yeah.
you know, but the point is that you are on the dance floor listening to music. You're here for the reason. So like do your thing, you know, like don't stare at the DJ, don't shoot at the, like, you know, with a camera.
I mean, it's also, I think it's the good balance in between. There are places where it's completely forbidden and there are no phones and everything is to keep the dance floor like clean from like influences, unnecessary influences, a part of music and dance. So you have then on the other hand places which I call content parties. Yeah. So they're also very nice, you know.
Yeah.
You have both.
Yeah.
You use the content party to advertise yourself, and then to maybe pick some places where it's more about the music. So it's a balance act, yeah. So I think it's important to keep this balance because, of course, if nobody knows you, you can't play, you know. So if you have a little bit of content to share, also it's also nice to share to people some stuff. But I think it needs to be very well balanced in order to have my needs satisfied musically, then on the other hand to have something to share with the people, like on a optical level, you know, like something they can see or be part of, you know, because I get the point. Okay, they want to participate a little bit on your routine or whatever, so it's also nice to share with people, given a glimpse. Look, this is how it can go, maybe.
But you know, like it's I see that electronic music, it's becoming so commercial now. Like, you know, it's all about like what we said backstage, you know, like pretty girls and like the table service, you know, like fancy places. And but do you think like all like the underground is becoming commercial at some point?
No, I don't think so. There is always, if something goes commercial, I don't know if it's the right word, maybe popular, let's call it popular, then there is always, it creates new room for niche and other kind of happenings, you know. And I think is sometimes what happens if you outgrow it, or you not outgrow, but maybe some DJs reach a certain level, they overlook this niche because it's very small, it's maybe not their budget anymore or whatever, but there is always something happening, you know. And
but what do you think about like the singers, the actors, the like soccer players, I don't know, basketball players, that everyone wants to be a DJ now. Like everyone wants to have that spotlight. What do you think about their music, first of all? And what do you think about that?
Everybody's entitled to do what whoever wants to do. So I'm not here to judge. I mean, if they want the spotlight, let them have the spotlight.
But they already have the spotlight of like doing their own other things. But
it's fine for me. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I care more about people who are taking it serious. And I mean, if someone, I don't know, if a basketball player then decides to become a techno DJ, and if it takes it serious and he has the ear and everything, then wow, go for it, please. If you even have commercial success, even better, because then maybe good music gets shared and spread out there. But if you do it just because you want another spotlight and you want to be the next rock star, okay, do it. I don't care, you know. I don't care.
What do you did you see the Grime's Coachella set?
I didn't see it, but I obviously heard some conversations about it.
What do you think about that?
It's completely out of my world. I mean, honestly, a DJ, the excuses were not really clear to me, because I mean,
you're on a Coachella on the main stage, right?
You need to have a certain skill. I mean, to perform. No?
Right.
It's like you need to be sure about it. Yeah?
Right.
So shit can happen always. Like a CDJ can I don't know, has a problem. But this is why I ask for 4 CDJs and I use 4 USB sticks. That if one
doesn't work,
then I have 3 others. You know. So. I don't get it. So, but you know, I'm not so deep in the story that I can tell you something about it, to be honest.
I think the story was that the sync button was not working, so she didn't know how to sync it, and it didn't work out, you know. But I feel like
I mean, what shall I say? If the sync button didn't work. Then beat match.
I agree, but I was impressed how the audience were so like they were okay, you know, they were not like booing her, like they were super understandable, and which is nice, you know, like everyone has their fucked up moments, and everyone has like, I'm sure every DJ has their moments when they're like didn't match well, but I think it's also important to understand that it's okay, but not to the people that
it's okay for a moment, you know. If you fuck it up a mix or whatever, it's okay. If you go on for 20 minutes fucking it up, then it's not okay.
If you don't know how to play, it's not okay. If you're
but like I said, this specific story, I don't know anything about it. I mean, what I see is that due to the Instagram stars, you know, who maybe are better influencer rather than DJs or performer,
Yeah.
people are also getting maybe educated in the wrong direction, because they think if someone is successful on Instagram, he must be a good performer. And then they don't maybe activate all the senses, like to listen really, is it really that way? It's like going, for example, I always say it like, if you go to a restaurant, yeah, everybody tells you it's an amazing food. You go there, you eat it, and you say, oh, it's amazing food, without really tasting it. It can be shit, but you eat it because everybody else was eating it, and you say it's great because everybody else was saying it's great. So you need to activate your senses and judge by your your senses, and you need to listen to something or to music, and to activate your ear and your inner heart to say, okay, this speaks to me, or this doesn't speak to me. Not because, okay, everybody thinks this is a great DJ or a great performer,
Don't
it must
follow
be
the
good.
masses, basically. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
No, this story, it's like just shows how bizarre the whole thing is. You know, like you can't book a DJ that cannot play for the main festival of the world.
Unfortunately,
Just
it's not
because
a rarity, to be honest. It's like that new like so many DJs who are instantly from the bedroom be booked on big stages without knowledge. They also, like, I think it's bad also for them, because you put someone into such a big responsibility, and they don't know how to handle it, so I think it's not good. I think you need to do your homework. You need to naturally grow to the point to collect experience,
Absolutely.
to be able to play such a stage, to understand your role in this specific as you said before, time you're put in on the stage to play, or night or morning or whatever.
Yeah. But it shows how much demand on DJing now.
Yeah.
If because she's a very successful singer, and like if she wants to play or DJ at Coachella, like how many other people wants to do that, And did you think that DJing becomes such a popular thing back when you started? Like, was it anything like this before, or it was just purely about like, I want to play music, and it wasn't such a demand?
It was more a nerdy
thing.
Yeah, it was
More underground, I think, too.
Yeah, but it was like, okay, nerdy thing, because back then it was also a little bit more difficult to do it,
Right.
You needed to go to the record store every week, and spending time to find records.
Yes.
And then you couldn't just download a million of tracks, so you needed. This is why I'm still saying so much no to music, because when I started, I needed to choose. For example, I was 13 years old, so I didn't have much money to buy records. So I listened to hundreds of records to choose maybe one.
Wow.
So you need to say no. So the one record you bought, it had something. It was important to me, and this is why people are just downloading now music. They go, oh yeah, I'm a DJ. I buy a console for $100-200, and then I'm a DJ. It was not that easy to buy two Technics. It was a lot of money. It was 2,500 D-mark back then. It was a huge amount of money. A mixer, a setup. So it was not just like that. You couldn't do it just like that. So you needed to be a nerd and very much interested in it. And it took years and years of practicing, or also like going through music, collecting music, having a good collection of records. I mean, meanwhile, I still have, I think at the peak I had like 5,000-6,000 records, which is, compared to some other people, it's a small collection still. If you look like someone like Danny Tenaglia or whoever, they have 10,000s of records. And yeah, it was a nerdy thing, and you needed to really be 100% into it to make it.
But your collection must be like worthless, like just like thinking about all your collection is like, wow, there must be like amazing music out there because of the music that you play.
I went the records. I went like couple of weeks ago, my wife encouraged me to let's select some music
Yes.
from the record collection. So I went into the basement and I came up with
In your house in Berlin.
yeah, exactly. I came up with 100 records up, and then we sit there, we listen carefully. I was like, oh fuck, yeah.
I forgot about this. Yeah.
I forgot
Wow.
about it, and then I remember like the moments when I used to play them like 20 years ago
Wow.
or something like that, and
Time traveling
Yeah,
takes
it
you
was
back.
kind of time traveling, brought back some really nice memories. And yeah, it's
Plus,
nice.
it's not like now that you can download so many music and play whatever. You have to like carry all those
Yes.
records, right?
Yeah,
like,
it was logistically it was like
yeah, like
intense. Yeah.
Mauro was saying when he started, he had to like go with 2 suitcases to club, so
Yeah.
asking if he can play. You
Yeah.
know, like it's not, it wasn't like a flashcard. You just show up, like stick.
No,
and
no,
then
it was
play.
difficult. For example, where I held my residency, once in a while I played like all night long, which went up to 9-10 hours.
Yes.
So now to have 9-10 hours of music selection with
How
you.
many
So
records did you use for that?
I had, let me just think, I brought with me 6 cases. I think it was
Wow.
50 or 75 records a case. So it was a lot of records.
Wow.
Anyway,
Wow.
like 400, 500 records. So we needed to go with 2 cars because in my cadet, if I would put all the records in my trunk, my car would be like this, you know. So we went with 2 cars, and I had like always 2-3 friends helping me carrying the vinyl inside.
Wow.
Because
But that sounds like a different world, you
Yes,
know? Like
yes,
I
yes.
always get fascinated when DJs tell me the stories
Yeah.
from back in the days, how
Yeah.
it was. It's like watching a movie from a previous generation, you
Yeah.
know? But there is a beauty in it,
Yeah,
you know?
it's
There's
super,
some sort of an atmosphere in it.
it's really beautiful. And then also I like the handcraft, you know, like to beat match and to touch the music, to touch it. You were like instantly connected to the music, you know. And it was not like, oh, looping here, so you needed to know
No.
your music like perfectly. In order, if you wanted also that not only the selection is good, but also like well mixed, you needed to know your music perfectly, when, what to do, you know, and to go with it. Because yeah, and also like you have like multiple tracks on each side of a record, so in a dark club you don't see where the needle is, you know,
Right,
so you need
right,
to
right,
know
right.
where a track ends in
Yeah.
order to stop
You need to
the
have
record.
the ear, right, for
Yes.
that.
Yes.
I agree. Tell me about the one of my favorite songs of all time is Acamar, and honestly, I was playing the day before event.
Yeah.
I was playing, and then I played the song,
Yeah.
and a guy came up to me and he said, "You just played the song by Frankey Sandrino, Acamar. Do you know that they're playing tomorrow in New York?" I was like, tell me more. So, do you get a lot of people saying that they know you about from that
Yes.
song?
Yes, so Acamar is a very important song for us. It internationally put us on the map, I would say, but also like the song itself, it's I think it's very authentic. It happened
Very
completely
beautiful,
out
yeah.
of like really of intrinsic motivation. Not, it was not planned. Anyway, our music is never planned, but, and I'm happy because the song actually speaks to so many different people, you know. Even my mom or my mother-in-law, she
Don't
likes it, you know.
understand it,
So
yes.
it's somehow it's not easy in the harmonies, you know. It's also a complex song, but yet easy and accessible for people without like musical knowledge, which I think it's great, and I love that it made this crossover from so many genres, and a lot of different DJs played it, like very underground DJs, but also like commercially or publicly, or more popular DJs played it. So I'm happy about it, and I hear a lot of stories still that a lot of people connect specific time memory with the song, and it's overwhelming every time someone tells me his personal story. It's like, Oh wow.
It's
Yeah.
you're creating magic, you know.
Yeah.
But for me, the hit is like when you create something that is timeless.
Yeah.
You can listen to it like 10 years later, and
Yeah.
10 years, like 50 years later,
Yeah.
and it always sounds good. You know, you
Yeah.
just like, you cannot express it, but you just
Yeah.
like, you feel it.
Yeah, this is the approach we always have with every track we are doing. Is like to have it, like to think about, will I like this in 5 years? Will I like this in 10 years? You know, I think this is very important. Also selecting music. I like tracks that, for example, in 1 year I'm not ashamed of. I played it like back then. You know, so it needs to. So stand the time, you know, like with me. So I have tracks which I played 1 year ago, and I can easily play again, or which I played 5 years ago, and I could easily play it again right now because they still make sense for me.
So it's basically quality music.
Yes.
Not chasing the trend or
Yes.
fashion, what is like shiny
Yes.
right now,
Yeah.
and not chasing like what this song will bring me, or what
Yeah.
how I shine when I play this song.
No,
it's,
no,
it's
no, no.
just
It's
doing the
it
opposite. Yeah.
pure and true, pure and true to whatever is coming out of your heart. I think it's most important for me. But I understand everybody else's position. You know, everybody has a different approach to it, and it's fine. But this is from my point of view, and I don't necessarily think everybody should do it the same. It's the way I think and I see the world, the musical world.
But you see, I think that not a lot of people have the ability of feeling it through
Yeah.
their heart and
Yeah.
the soul. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people feel it.
It's a pity.
It's as simple
much
as
more
that.
beautiful, and it's much more powerful if it's authentic. Much more powerful. I mean,
Because I know people that they don't have that. They
Yeah.
like, I know people like you or Maura who just like who feel it, you know,
Yeah.
who like let it through themselves.
Yeah.
But some people, they just don't. You
yeah,
know. It's,
I'm really sorry, and I feel pity for them because it's you miss out on something very beautiful if you don't let it into your heart or let it out of your heart. You know, so both ways.
So you gotta be open for that, I guess, in order to feel it through. You know.
100%.
Not
With
just-
everything. With
Yeah.
everything. It's
Yeah.
not only music. It's everything in life. You know, you need to go with an open heart, and because you want to understand on a profound level, not only just randomly and superficially take things for granted. You know, so you need to feel them. I think this is the most important part. 100%.
Wow. And what's the, like, I want to, like, always fascinated me the stories that DJs that have been DJing for so long. Like, what is the most bizarre gig that you ever had? And I'm sure the nightlife is like, gets crazy. Like, you
Yes.
cannot even imagine.
I must say one of the most bizarre gigs in terms of like really bizarre was like it was during COVID. Yeah, I played a party, or I played a place where people were seated. So
Sitting.
Sitting, of course, 1.5 meters apart from each other, and there were like 10 security guys, and every time someone would stand up, they would go there and then make them sit again. It was like,
What?
so it was this was very bizarre, you know, it's like, okay. And then you saw that obviously if you hear a rhythm and you feel it,
Yeah.
you want to
Well,
move, and then you saw the bouncer always going to those people and force them to sit again. Yeah, this was the most bizarre thing, I guess, which pops up to my mind I've seen.
Was it like they were doing it in purpose? It was a sort of a game that they were playing? That
No. It was you could dance. You weren't allowed to dance. So in order to have some musical events, you did it like that. But it was definitely bizarre. I mean, at the end.
Is it because of the COVID? That
Yes.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I'd be like, people are really crazy when they.
Yeah, bizarre. So yeah, let's forget about it fast.
What is it like? You were telling me that the nightlife changed
Yeah.
a lot after the COVID.
Yes.
Do you like that or not? Or are you adjusting to it?
I think we always adjust, you know, it's like
To
the
everything.
humanity
Yes.
adjusts
Yes.
to new situations. It changed drastically, dramatically, not everywhere, but a lot of places changed in terms of, like, I think like an older generation decided not to go out anymore, so a new generation came up with a need of partying, but without let's say natural cultural progression of knowledge, and the mix was not really perfect. Now it's adjusting itself again, but at the beginning it was a little bit strange because I felt like people are here but they are not here, so they're actually they are on the party but not knowing what they're doing or why they are at this party, you know. I felt it in a lot of clubs where, for example, we started to play in the morning hours, like 4 or 5 a.m., and then we had like the most magical time over the till 11 a.m. or something, and then you went there and at 4 a.m. you come into the club and nobody was there anymore, you know.
Wow.
Or yeah, it changed a little bit like that. But now it's adjusting itself because a lot of people who decided not to go out anymore, luckily, want to go out again, and a lot of the young kids, they get educated, and so they have a better understanding of the music, of the night itself, and yeah, it adjusts itself a little bit
Yeah,
now.
I feel like I noticed that like last year I know Burning Man wasn't sold out at all. Like they were giving free tickets,
Oh wow.
and Garbix the same way. They
Yeah.
were like giving free tickets,
Yeah.
and I saw that Coachella the second week wasn't sold
Yeah.
out at all. Like
Yeah.
something is really like maybe people don't want to like party anymore.
No,
is
no,
it?
I don't think it's like that. The prices are going up insanely, so you can't afford to party anymore. Like I told you before,
Yeah.
I was at this party where, actually, luckily, I had a guest list, but the ticket was $1,000.
That's crazy.
$1,000 for a techno party. I'm sorry, but something is completely wrong if it's like that, because this
Wow.
means you exclude a lot of people. It's not that, oh wow, why people aren't showing up.
And
Sorry,
it's
$1,000. Why should they?
you know that makes it like not all the cool people or
Yeah.
fun people
Yeah.
have that budget
Yeah.
to pay $1,000 ticket.
This is what
to
I'm
go
saying. It's
to the
like
festival.
this is why, and you go to Coachella or whatever. I mean, it's there are a lot of amazing festivals, but it's an investment you have to do.
Of
You know, you
course,
can't do
yeah.
them all. It's like it's obvious. And then on the other hand, due to a lot of festivals, a lot of clubs are suffering because a lot of DJs, they, for example, they don't want to play those budgets anymore, and people aren't going to clubs because they want to go to maybe to the festival and they save their money or whatever. And I think this can be damaging because in order that you have festivals, functioning festival, you need to go through the club, and also like for the new generation of DJs, you need to have a playground and a school where you learn your craft, and you can't go from your bedroom straight to a, I don't know, 5,000 people stage. I think this is completely wrong. It's like, you know, you cook at home, you don't go into I don't know, Michelin
Five-star,
star a restaurant to start to cook.
Yes.
You start, like, you go
You earn your
naturally,
way.
you need to learn everything,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
So yeah, but yeah.
I totally agree with that. What is like one DJ that would get you out of the house any time of the day to make you dance? Like what's
LoroGarcia.
Lor-
LoroGarcia.
LoroGarcia? Yeah.
He is my hero. Yes.
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 Why? Like what?
Because I never seen someone else with such passion, and he started already in 84 or 85 in Paradise Garage, I think in London. No, Hacienda, sorry.
Uh-huh.
In Hacienda, and he always have been like keeping the flag for good music and music, the culture, like really high. Now still, and he's just an amazing DJ.
Wow.
Yeah, he's really good.
Is he one of the DJs that inspired you to start from the beginning?
I wouldn't say it so, but he was all along the way an important reference point for me. Let's say, and don't necessarily agree with everything he's playing, but I love his energy. I love him as a person, and he's just, for me, by far the best DJ out
Wow,
there.
wow. And before we leave, I know that you have to catch the flight, but
As always.
one question I want
Yeah.
to know is that, let's say, one last song that you had to play before leaving this reality. We were talking a lot about the
Yeah.
virtual reality, about
Yeah.
the reality and illusion itself. Before you leave this reality
Yeah.
to go another multiverse, somewhere
Yeah.
else, what is that one song that you play?
Oh, wow. So, it's a difficult question which I would really need to think about, because there are a lot of important songs. Not sure I can
But
answer that, to be
one
honest.
song that comes to your mind first?
One song that comes to my mind would be maybe Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen.
Oh yes!
Yeah.
Wow!
So maybe that.
Wow! I
Yeah.
love that. We'll make sure to add this song here.
Or
For
Shine a New Crazy Diamond, Pink Floyd. I don't know.
oh, Pink Floyd.
So something like this.
It's hard to pick one, right?
It's
There's
hard to pick one.
so many great music.
Yeah, it's really hard to pick one.
Absolutely, I agree. But I really enjoyed our conversation.
Yeah, the
I
whole
had
day
to-
was
Exactly.
we talked a lot.
You are a very, very deep
Yeah.
person, and I really enjoyed how I get to know you.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand why your music is so different, because you, as a person, you're very complex and deep, which I love finding out that about people.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate
Thank
for
you so
sharing
much.
your
I
view, your
also
perspective.
appreciate, and I'm happy to have such conversations
Absolutely.
because it's off standard for sure, and it's I also like to go a little bit more in detail and deep when it comes to music in general. I
Yeah.
like put a meaning to things, like a more profound meaning to things, rather than just superficially go through stuff, you know.
Than the shallow things,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
I agree. Thank you guys
Thank
so
you.
much for watching us. Thank you, Sandrina, for your time. And
Thank
I
you.
hope to see you next time when you're in New York.
100%.
Thank you, guys.
Ciao.